Here we are again, Market Weekly, another episode. We'll bring you some of the stories making the rounds from the Nigerian market to the global market at large. We dissect everything from stocks to companies to corporates and all whatnot, some of the big stories. The first on our list is what is happening with Jumia, the latest financial result. Can this e-commerce giant turn their story around? We're going to find out about that and what is happening with VFD, another capital injection. It looks like there's a tree where they end up plucking this money because capital injection for VBank, and we're seeing that happening this week again. Treasury Bills Yield has also crashed. A lot of Nigerians who take advantage of the money market instrument and now taking a look at it for a second time. How attractive can it be with these low yields? We're going to find out about all of this on this episode of Market Weekly. Sit back, relax, and then we go right into it. Let's start with what's happening with Jumia. Jumia cuts losses, but revenue declines. Can this e-commerce giant reignite their growth? We're going to find out about that. Now, Jumia's latest earnings result showed a 10% reduction in operating losses in 2024. Now, it's a sign that the e-commerce platform is streamlining operations. However, we're looking at their revenue. Their revenue took a hit, declining to $171 million, raising a lot of concerns about its long-term profitability. And the company has been aggressively cutting costs, slashing marketing expenses, and also logistics inefficiencies. But a lot of analysts are of the opinion that Jumia's focus on reducing losses will come at the expense of top-line growth. The competition in the e-commerce space is quite stiff with what is happening. The local and international e-commerce companies, all of them vying for the loyalty of customers. And that is what is happening with these increasing financial pressures and shifting consumer behaviors. How would Jumia turn the wheel around and make sure that they turn this to the benefit of a lot of investors? We're going to find out about that and keep you abreast as how all of this unfolds. And then we shift gears to what is happening with VFD Group. Now, VFD Group injects the sum of 5 billion naira into VBank. It's a boost for digital banking. Now, the VFD Group has approved the sum of 5 billion naira capital injection into VBank, signaling a strong push to expand its digital banking footprint. And the move comes in the midst of increasing competition that is happening in the fintech space because everyone is literally looking for the loyalty of customers in the fintech space, where banks and a lot of fintechs are battling for market share. VBank has grown rapidly, and all of this is against the backdrop of what happened last week. Remember that VBank was in the market again, some debt issuance, and now again we're seeing some capital injection of 5 billion naira coming in to the same company. It gives us an idea of what is happening in the fintech space. Let's take a look at what is also happening in Treasury bills. The yields are now low. A lot of the investors who are taking advantage of the money market funds, many of them are looking at the market with side eyes because the MPC meeting that held this week, what exactly is the MPR? 27.5%. And a lot of the investors are saying that the yields for T-bills is not as attractive as it used to be. But how low can it be? How low can it get? The last time we checked, we saw that the yield was high as 22%. The fixed income market is seeing a significant shift as Treasury bills yields crash ahead of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Investors are pulling back and waiting for the CBN stance on interest rate. Though the stance of CBN is now out, 27.5%. But how much more can the yields drop? Investors have their eyes glued to the chart, trying to find out what the yield of T-bills is going to be. And who knows if the next auction, we're going to find out and keep you abreast as to how all of this unfolds. And then we shift gears to what is happening in the global market. Meta has approved bonuses for 200 plus employees. What is this strategy? Meta has approved a round of bonuses for 200 plus employees, and this move is aimed at keeping top talent. And the reason for this is because of what is happening, the AI revolution, the artificial intelligence revolution. We're seeing lots of tech talent are shifting gears. They're shifting loyalty base. And what a way to keep talent in your company. Now, with company investing heavily in artificial intelligence and the metaverse, the incentives could help stabilize its workforce and keep critical projects on track. Will all these bonuses pay off in employee loyalty, or perhaps will the company need to do more and keep its key personnel? We're going to find out how all of this unfolds, because when the job numbers comes out, we will know whether these bonuses is paying off. We're going to take a look at what is happening in India. Indian drug makers strengthen the US market dominance. Indian pharmaceutical companies continue to solidify their position in the US market, increasing their share in generic drug manufacturing. With strict FDA approvals and competitive pricing, the Indian firms are filling critical gaps in America's healthcare system. This growth dominance comes as the US pharma companies shift focus to high-margin specialty drugs, leaving space for Indian manufacturers to expand. Additionally, we're seeing that the US policymakers are increasingly looking at global supply chains for critical medications, positioning Indian firms as essential players in the landscape. What is happening in Japan? The Japanese investors are eyeing Tesla, a new strategic partnership. Now, a Japanese investment group is reportedly in talks to invest in Tesla, a move that could bring fresh capital and strategic partnership in the EV giant. While details remain scarce, such investment could help Tesla expand its production capacity and strengthen its supply chain. Remember that they have a target. And let's see whether the Q4 or the Q3 target, whether they're going to meet up with the Q2 or Q3 target after this merger or partnership with this investment firm from Japan. Now, if this deal materializes, it could be a significant move and shift in Tesla's funding strategy and perhaps even the future growth plans. And then we're coming next to what is happening in our local market. What is happening with the NGX? How did the market play out this week? We're going to find out after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what is happening in our domestic market, the NGX. How did the market play out this week? On Monday, we're seeing that the NGX, the all-share index of the NGX, settled at 107,937 points, dropping 0.1%. The market capitalization stood at 67 trillion naira, with 511 million shares traded, valued at 12.8 billion naira. Let's take a look at some of the top gainers and the top losers. The top gainers for the market, Nigerian berries was seeing 36 naira 30 kobo, had some 10% gains in the market. Cadbury also featured among the top gainers, 32 naira. That's the unit share for Cadbury, 9.97% gains in the market. Tip also featured among the top gainers, 4 naira 45 kobo, 9.88% gains in the market. Let's take a look at some of the top losers for the day. Len Africa featured among the top losers, 10% decline in the market. And then we're seeing Ikeja Hotels, 12 naira 60 kobo, 10% decline in the market. Cornerstone Insurance also featured amongst the top losers for the day, 3 naira 13 kobo. That's some 9.8% decline in the market. The most traded stocks, Access Corporation featuring among the most traded stocks also, 143 million shares traded in just one day, valued at 4 billion naira. Now, UBA also featured among the most traded stocks for Monday, 17.86 million shares traded, valued at 688.2 million naira. Let's shift gears to what happened on Tuesday. How did the market react? The all-share index rebounded by 0.8% gains in the market, closing 108,609 points. The market capitalization rose to 67 trillion naira, with 343 million shares traded at 8.63 billion naira. Take a look at some of the top gainers and the top losers. We're starting with the top gainers. Boa Foods featured among the top gainers, 410 naira 50 kobo, 9.91% gains in the market. RT Briscoe featuring among the top gainers for the day, which was Tuesday, 2.2 naira 63 kobo, 6.91% gains in the market. Etana also featured. It's the only oil and gas stocks that featured among the top three gainers for the day. 42 naira 50 kobo, 6.25% gains in the market. We're shifting gears to what happened at the bottom of the pyramid. The top losers for the day, which was Tuesday, UPL 4 naira 60 kobo, 9.80% decline in the market. Union Decon also featured among the top losers, 6 naira 65 kobo, 9.52% decline. Macnicos also featured among the top losers for the day, 1 naira 60 kobo, and that's some 8.57% decline in the market. Let's take a look at what happened at the midweek of the trading day. Wednesday, the all-share index rose by 0.48% gains in the market. It's been a great week for the market, if you ask me. On Monday, we saw the market drop by 0.1% decline. Tuesday, gainers took over, and then Wednesday, we're seeing the gainers also taking over again. 0.4% gains in the market for Wednesday, closing at 108,568 points. The market traded 421 million shares, which is worth 8 billion naira. Some of the top gainers, we're seeing Abe also featuring among the top gainers, 3 naira 41 kobo, 10% gains in the market. UPL 5 naira 5 kobo, and then we're seeing the market also gaining by 9.78% gains in the market. Sovereign is also featuring among the top gainers, 1 naira 26 kobo, 9.57% gains in the market. Some of the top losers, Union Decon also featuring among the top losers one more time on Wednesday. 6 naira, it dropped by 9.77% decline in the market. Deep Cap also featuring among the top losers, 92 kobo, that's the current price, 7.07% decline. CWG featuring among the top losers for the day, 8 naira 20 kobo, and experiencing some 5.75% decline in the market. Let's take a look at the most traded stocks. The stocks that caught the attention of a lot of investors in the market. Zenith Bank, 22.97 million shares traded for the day, which was Wednesday, valued at 1.15 billion naira. GTCO, the banking stocks literally were the most traded stocks for the day. GTCO, 20 million shares traded, valued at 1.03 billion naira. UBA featured amongst the most traded stocks, 16.27 million shares traded, valued at 617 million naira. Remember that on Monday, UBA also featured among the top traded stocks, and then featuring again. This week has been a great week because a lot of investors have been taking a look at UBA, the most traded stock, twice at a row from Monday and Wednesday. Let's move on to what happened on Thursday. The market sees an increased activity. The all-share index also increased by 0.5% gains in the market to close at 109,250 points, with 478 million shares exchanged, valued at 11.76 billion naira. We're going to take a look at some of the top gainers. The top gainers, Champion featuring among the top gainers, 4 naira 12 kobo, 9.87% gains in the market. Dangote Sugar featuring among the top gainers, 41 naira 40 kobo, 8.95% gains in the market. And then Omatech, 81 kobo and 8.00% gains in the market. Some of the top losers, Ikeja Hotel featuring among the top losers on Thursday, 11 naira. The market closed for the day, 7.56% decline in the market. As regards Ikeja Hotel, Academy Press also featuring among the top losers, 2 naira 78 kobo, 7.33% decline in the market. Tip featured among the top losers, 4 naira, and then 6.98% decline. Some of the most traded stocks, the banking stocks also took over again on Thursday. Access Corporation, Fidelity Bank, and then Zenith Bank. Respectively, they all had 65 million shares trading at, valued at 1.8 billion naira. That's for Access Corporation. Fidelity Bank, 50 million shares valued at 962 million shares. Just 38 million shares away from the 1 billion naira mark. Zenith Bank, 22 million shares for Zenith Bank, 1.1 billion naira. 8.95% gains in the market. Almatech, 81 kobo, 8% gains in the market. And that's it on this episode of Market Weekly, where we bring you some of the top stories making the rounds across different markets, from the domestic market, which is the NGX, to some corporate battles, and then taking a look at what is happening in the global market. And stay with us every week where we take a look at what happened across the market. See you in the next episode. Cheers.